to go into the education sector, we want to take a look at modern methodology for improved learning on this program today. And when we say learning, we all know that the purpose of education is not just making a student literate, but arts rational thinking, knowledgeable, and self sufficiency. When there is a willingness to change, there is hope for progress in any field. Creativity can be developed and innovations, both students and teachers. Importance of education. Education is a manifestation of perfection already in man. That is going by Swami Vivekananda. Education is an engine for the growth and progress of any society. It not only imparts knowledge, skills, and inculcates values, but also responsible for building human capital, which breeds, drives, and sets technological innovation and economic growth. In today's era, information and knowledge stand out as very important and critical input for growth and survival. Rather than looking at education simply as a means of achieving social upliftment, the society must view education also as an engine of advancement in an information era propelled by its wheels of knowledge and research leading to developed methodology. Traditional teaching methods often focus on memorization. Modern method gamification, simulations, and AI-powered adaptive learning enhance student engagement and personalized learning. It improved student motivation, increased retention rates, preparation for real-world challenges. Research shows that modern methodology enhanced collaboration, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills. It serves as data-driven insights for teachers, enabling targeted interventions and more effective assessments. An educator once said, some of the challenges faced when adopting modern methodology are resistance to change, limited training, resource constraint, balancing technology integration with hands learning, and ensuring equity and accessibility for all students. A school of thought said the challenges of modern methodology can be addressed through professional development opportunities, paired gradual implementation, strategic planning, infrastructure investments, and community engagement. Research also shows that methodology enhanced student engagement, it improved retention rates, it increased collaboration and teamwork, development assessment, it improves teacher-student relationships. Modern methodology has the potential to transform education. Let's continue to explore innovative approaches. That is why we are bringing this to the front burner of our esteemed listeners. Let us review the use of modern methodology for improved learning in our country. What is modern methodology in education? How can we make our classes interactive and interesting? Do we have what it takes to achieve these? These and more shall be of day on our program, Morning Flight. To join in the discourse is the Honorable Commissioner for Education in the Gateway State, Professor Abayomi Aribabo. The lines to call are 0803 437 9453 and 0815 032 0226.
on this morning. Welcome to the flights discussion segment. Just like you said earlier, Tita has given us a very good background to what we're looking at today. It's about education, education, education. We cannot overemphasize the importance of education, not only in our nation, the world over. As a matter of fact, if our nation is not plugging into the trend, it means we are lagging. And we cannot afford to do that because the world is not waiting for any man. In fact, you get to understand and realize that from your own home, you can see how smart your 3-year-old kid is. You can
I'm
see how
telling you.
smart your even 1-year-old kid is. Sometimes they do things and you're like, okay, when I was this age, did I even understand this?
And therefore,
You know,
have you ever wondered that what you can't access on your phone, if you give your phone to a 3-year-old child, such child will access the phone.
they will
And
tell
you
you
begin to
secrets.
wonder that
They tell you secrets that you don't know existed on your phone.
hmm,
You manipulations you never knew existed
I'm
and
telling you.
possible on your
I'm
phones.
telling you, the rate at which these children operate phones nowadays, it amazes me.
So it's not just phone, it's just about how developed God has, made how complicated God has made their brains.
Mm.
God has so made it in such a way that they are smarter than many of us way back.
Exactly.
When we were their age, there were things we couldn't do. They are doing now.
And people,
We didn't imagine those things possible. When a child says something like, where did he get that from? So they are so smart. So we cannot afford to lag behind.
funny
We
enough,
must.
people are saying that okay, maybe our grandfathers, our grandmothers are reincarnating and they are coming back as children.
Maybe not, but of course you won't also want to throw that away completely because when you look at our forefathers, just like you mentioned, they were also very smart. Those times there were no chalks and blackboards. There were no even markers and marker boards at those days. And yes, when they start recounting Ifa for you, whatever Ifa said many years back, whatever happened to Ifa many years back, one after the other in series, you'll be like, how were they able to memorize all this?
I'm telling you.
And this were knowledge passed on from one generation to another. So it is not completely out of place, okay? But the truth is, the world is not staying in one place. The world is not static, and we cannot afford to be static as far as education is concerned. And so we're bringing education to the front burner once again today, and we have as guest this morning the Honorable Commissioner for Education,
In Ogun
Science and
State.
Technology in Ogun State, Professor Abayomi Aribabu. Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Good to have you, sir, Honorable Commissioner.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure with you.
Okay, sir. So we are taking a look at modern methodology for improved learning. So
Before we talk about modern technology and methodologies, sir, please can you give us a picture of Ogun State, how Ogun State is doing in terms of enrollment in public schools, both at the primary and secondary level? Are our children coming to schools?
Okay. Thank you very much. Once again, good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Yes. I want to say that Ogun State, we are not doing badly at all. Because when our governor, Prince Dr. Awobajo, CON, assumed office, he declared emergency in the education sector because he actually wanted to make a lot of impact in that sector. So part of what he did was to also cancel all payments, levies, and so on in the schools. So because the free education policy that he brought on board wanted it to be to the fullest. So that actually led to more access. The enrollment actually went up, and it has been going up year by year. And the improvement in the facilities, they go around the yellow roof, what we call the yellow roof revolution in schools to make the learning environment suitable for learners, and also more conducive for teachers. And then a number of other things that were put in place. So we also do what we call enrollment drive every year at the beginning of every session. Before resumption, we go to the motor parks, we go to places and open places, and we try to set aside parents and the guardians on the need to bring their children to school. All this in the bid to reduce the incidence of maybe out of school children, and we usually respond very well in this carry on. So all this the enrollment in schools, and we have continued to put in encourage learners to remain in school, to stay and learn and finish their education, because apart from talking about those who don't go to school, we also talk about retention. How do we ensure that they remain in school and finish their program? Yeah. So these are just a few of the things we have done, so that I won't take much of your time, because I wouldn't know the directions you want me to talk about. So rather than talking about our achievements details now.
Okay, so Honorable Commissioner, just before we proceed, let's quickly run off on this commercial break. We have Honorable Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology in Ogun State on the line, and it's been our resource person, it's been our guest on this program today, and we have been taking a look at modern methodology for improved learning. Now, Honorable Commissioner did say that Ogun State is not doing badly when it comes to education. Now, how do you incorporate modern technology, modern methodology, I beg your pardon, in your teaching practices? How have you been able to do that?
Yeah, thank you very much. In Ogun State, like you know, we always want to continue to maintain our leadership position in education. So let me start from what we have talked about in the education sector in terms of technology generally. You know, and if I can just quickly mention that without wasting time, that we build our education strategy we use on 6 pillars that we call the Ogun State Education Revitalization Agenda. That agenda has 6 pillars. The first one has to do with curriculum, the second one on management, the third one on technology integration, the fourth one on infrastructure, the fifth one on funding, and the sixth one on teachers and students' welfare. You see that technology is at the heart of everything, and it runs through the 6 pillars. So we have digitalized the entire process of education in the state to the extent that now our learners we mark the attendance online. No more marking on paper, no paper, biro, also marking of attendance. Report sheets of learners are also putting online. We have what we call the electronic dossier, that is the electronic report sheet. So parents can access this report sheet from anywhere they are involved. So they don't necessarily have to come to school to get report sheets. And apart from that, we have automated the process of registration for examination, the certificate examination. We have also introduced what we call learner identification number, which means every learner in our school in Ogun State, whether private or public, they have unique number. So which means there is no learner in any approved school in Ogun State that we don't have details, profile, and everything. So and so on. We have actually totally digitalized the education system. Now coming to teaching and learning, we are introducing what we call digital lesson notes for teachers, so that whatever is being taught, for instance, in Abeokuta, is the same thing that will be taught in Waterside or in Debo. so on and so forth, so that teachers have it makes life easier for teachers in terms of lesson preparation. And apart from that, we have given training to our teachers. We have done 2 sets of training now on a new methodology that is called PSI, PMI. PSI is Progressive Science Initiative and Progressive Mathematics Initiative. These are methodologies that you cannot teach without definitely using laptops and projectors or maybe smart televisions, so that the teacher is teaching in the classroom and actually use this one. We started with the sciences, and we have trained to date. We have trained about 1,750 teachers on the PSI PMI. We still continue with the training so that we get more and more of our teachers. We are not leaving out. We are not leaving behind other teachers, because we are in the process of now doing what we call one teacher, one laptop. So of us have in the pipeline, because of the digitalization that we have done in the sector. We want our teachers to be able to have access to technology, even through their personal laptops. Though we have encouraged schools to set up small technology, we can call it cyber cafe and so on and so forth. You can actually do some of these things while still waiting for when each teacher will have its own laptop. So we are encouraging them to also ensure that all the processes as we have put on the digital platform for education revitalization, they are followed it better. For instance, just yesterday I had a meeting with all private school owners, and I showed them, I displayed to them what had been happening in this education sector in the past 4 years. Because we are able to see some of the infractions that school owners commit, like moving children from primary 4 to primary 7 to PS1, moving children from primary 5 to PS1, skipping classes honestly. Because of digitalization, we're able to show them, and we said all those children will move back to the class they should be, because they are not just be skipping classes. Children are supposed to enter school at a particular age and then go through all the classes. If they are geniuses, we take care of those peculiar ones. So the senior process is such that teaching and learning in the classrooms now, we have made it more activity centered and learner centered, so that teachers are being trained from time to time for them to be able to cope with the use of technology in teaching. Of course, when we talk of technology in teaching, don't forget that we are also talking about even the aspects of it that we are not talking about technology, but you are talking about methodologies. There are various methodologies you can use in teaching to improve understanding in the classroom. When students fail at times, it's not totally the fault of the at times it will be the teacher that is actually not doing what he should do, and that's why we are equipping our teachers with modern technologies. And some of these things we do, you will find out that we not only the government directly doing some of these things. At times, through their various subject associations. For instance, we have Science Teachers Association, we have Mathematics Association of Nigeria, we have French Teachers Association, Economics Teachers Association, and so on and so forth. Through their associations, we support them so that they can organize workshops and conferences for their members, through which they are able to interact, network, engage with other people from even all over the world. We have invited people from France, from the UK, to come and organize trainings for our teachers. For instance, our French teachers have organized somebody to come and train them on the use of now to use modern methods of teaching French and so on and so forth. So when the PSI PMI that I mentioned, this methodology is actually anchored, because PSI PMI is actually a trademark methodology of UGSA, Center for Teaching and Learning in the US. So it is through the UGSA Center for Teaching and Learning, which African University of Science and Technology in Abuja, the US, that actually collaborated with us. We train our teachers on that. So today we still continue to look for ways and means of making our teachers more up to date and able to use modern methodologies teaching to improve outcomes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. If you've just joined us, this is OGBC Morning Flight discussion segment. We have as guest this morning the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology in Ogun State, the Honorable Commissioner Professor Awobajo. Now, sir, you have done so much, and a lot is still being done from what you just said. And I'm sure that if we give you more time, you would still reel out a lot more than what you have mentioned this morning. But then, when we are coming out with initiatives like this, I'm sure there were certain objectives you set, to achieve with these initiatives. Now, has there been assessment or continuous assessment of these initiatives and the impact they're having on the education system in our state?
Thank you very much. One of the ways you measure what you do, the effectiveness of what you do, the impact is when you start seeing how it reflects in the students' maybe performance, particularly in internal examinations and external examinations and competitions. I'm sure you are aware that Ogun State students continue to make us proud in the external examinations. And apart from that, even I think for the last year, when one of our learners did third or fourth examination. And apart from that, you look at the last year, you look at the first 12, I think the first 12 on that particular lineup, when the result was released, most of them from Ogun State, the schools. So, and apart from that, in competitions like yes, is a engineers, technician, scientist competition. Our students not only locally, they win at the zonal level, southwest level, and they go to national competition. And about 3 years ago, for instance, I was very fantastic. One student from African Church Grammar School, one of our public schools, of course, that's one of our flagship schools in Ogun State. He actually started with 9 awards, nine laurels out of 18 laurels that was won by Ogun State. And by the way, that particular year, Ogun State won 18 out of 24 laurels that were available nationally. So, and that boy alone won 9 out of 18 laurels. Came second in the 774 years bar and was given scholarship award of PhD level. The following year we won also, and so this year also they are already doing very well. They will go for the national competition very soon. There are a number of further competitions, and you see, and this one that I'm telling you is also not only in public school, in private school. You'll probably say, okay, why are we talking about private school? Don't forget that we are the ones also supervising what happens in private schools, and we ensure that they follow the government programs and policies on education. You remember Faith just from Ambassador College to won the global mathematics competition at that time. They were talking about our teachers. Many of our teachers have won awards in the past 5 years. Won awards locally, nationally, which is actually a reflection of some of the things we are also doing. One of them just came back from the US about 3 weeks ago on the space space initiative in the US, United States. Was one of the 10 throughout Nigeria. So, and so on like that, in multiple teacher competition, our teachers also motivated well. Another competitions. About performance in them, they are very impressive. They do for WIC and other examinations. So and even when you listen to comments of parents comments of stakeholders in the education sector and even teachers themselves. You see that the marked improvement, which actually is something we're very happy about.
Okay, our guest is still the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology in Ogun State, Professor Bayomi Arigabo, and we have been discussing modern methodology for improved learning. Now, before we open the studio lines, Honorable Commissioner, what support systems are necessary for successful implementation?
Well, maybe I was a little bit faster. While answering the question, you remember I told you that for our teachers to be able to do this, we actually support them through various trainings, exposing them to better methodologies, inviting people, professionals, inviting specialists, professors, and so on, to come around to train them. We also encourage the associations to organize specialized programs for them. For instance, ANCOPS is an association of principals of secondary school, while an option is that of primary school. We are practicing even through the headship. The headship, once you are appointed principal today or a head teacher, ANCOPS on his own will go ahead and organize induction programs for them. And we support this induction program because we know they will bring people who can actually take people through how to be leaders and effective teachers. And we work with some other organizations like Teach for Nigeria. Teach for Nigeria is an organization, it's actually worldwide. We have Teach for Nigeria, but we have Teach for All, and so on and so forth. Teach for Liberia, Teach for Ghana. Teach for Nigeria, very wonderful support also. We have their fellows in our schools so that they also have to improve teaching and learning. And every year we get nothing less than 100 CFL fellows in our schools. And they also support us with training of leaders. We also, apart from TFL, we also organize specialized trainings for our teachers and for our students. So I mentioned the intention of the government to support them also through technology using tools that will make it easy for them to. So we have two flagship schools in the state. We are improving, rehabilitating all the laboratories in the 42 flagship schools. That is the first phase. After that, we go to other levels. So we want the laboratories to where they some other equipment for them. And then we are established 4 resource centers in Ogun State, one in each division in Ogun State, so that even in all the schools we have at least one in each division. So just can actually go to these resource centers and even some should take their children and their students there. So the facilities available in these resource centers are such that you won't find such facilities in just one school. So this one can actually be used to support their children and they can come around on their own and interact with other colleagues at the resource center. They can bring their children, their learners to the resource center to also whatever they want to teach them. So we are also bringing what we call smart classrooms. Smart classrooms are classrooms that are totally technology driven. We are not going to have it in all the schools at Debo. We are starting with the flagship schools for 2 of them, and these 42 flagship schools are actually they are in all the 4 divisions in the state, an average of 10 per division. Debo division, River division, Remo division, and Yoruba division. So the intention is to extend this thing to all the 570 secondary schools in the state. So we provide facilities that will make teaching and learning easier and more lively for our teachers and also for the learners.
Okay, so the lines are beeping already. Let's open the line 0803 437 9453 and 0815 032 0226. Our guest is still the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology in Ogun State, Professor Bayomi Arigabo. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Titi.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Debo.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to our Honorable Commissioner. My name is Wale Owoshirin I'm calling from Ilau. From the submissions of the Honorable Commission, a lot are being taught the teachers in terms of research and all what have you. Don't you think it would be necessary to extend it to the teacher training colleges and the NCE institutions, so that it wouldn't be the teachers that are ground alone that will be taught this new methodology, so that those institutions turning out teachers would equally have it. That's my submission. Good one.
Thank you so much, Other Oshini. Your reaction to that, sir?
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't. The team was not very clear, but I managed to hear something like maybe what we are doing about that still trade. That is it. So that I can actually go ahead. So what the primary refer to is while we are talking about teachers that are in training, sorry, teachers that are
in schools,
teachers that are already in schools. What are we doing about teachers that are in teachers colleges?
Yeah.
Those who are educational faculties in the university to ensure that they also impact this on those that will graduate, so that we won't have to be retraining them again. Yes, I want to let I know that even the methodology that we said we introduced, we didn't bring the people from NGCTS to come and train them. What we did was to get professors and ministerial lecturers and so on from the faculties of education and the University of Education in Ogun State, and some of them from the University of Lagos, some of them from the University of Ibadan, and some other universities even across Nigeria. We come around and we trained 50 of them. 50 of them were trained by NGCTL and AUSC. So these 50 facilitators were the ones we used to train our teachers, and that the ones still delivering the methodology to them. You see, it was deliberate to actually invite those ones of them that are the teachers or lecturers in the universities. So the methodologies that we introduce, they themselves are able to implement it in their own institutions because they have been exposed to it. So it's a matter of injecting whatever we're talking about into the training programs in the various colleges of education and the colleges of education and so that as they are coming out, very familiar with that methodology. But I've seen some of them that are actually engaged on research. You see some of their research students, PhD students, to actually do research on the effectiveness of PSI, PMI in our schools, through which they interact with teachers, train and the students in the various schools where PSI, PMI is being implemented. So that's a way of ensuring that there is a provision to take care of pre-service teachers, as we are taking care of the in-service teachers.
But sir, I'd like to go on this break again, and then when we come back, we'll take more calls. 9453.
Good
Hello, good morning.
happy weekend to you and your partner there.
Same to
And
you.
I'm saying hello to Honorable Commissioner. Please, food nutrition and all the submission I want to. But the fact is that before he was sent into all those rural areas, you know that most of those rural schools don't have fence. Because all those facilities, because when the school closed, it turned to long and use that fence and then. So, and please, Honorable Commissioner, please, what are you doing about our sport? Because sporting activities ought to be done every year. But now, I don't see anything sporting in our schools. So that should be looked into. Have a wonderful day. That's nice.
You didn't tell us your name.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sorry about that.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Ojelade. Honorable Commissioner, you have the floor, sir. Hello, sir. You have the floor. We can hear you, sir.
Let's get another call while the American Commissioner reacts to that.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. We want to take another call so that you can react to those two together.
No, I didn't hear the first question. I didn't hear the first
She
question.
she talked about schools that are not fenced, and then she talked about sporting activities not being inculcated in school activities. She talked about those two. Would you want to react, or we pick another call?
Okay, yeah. Well, that's talking about fencing. Well, that's probably talking about security generally, which we know is actually a bigger problem now in the country. Efforts are being made to ensure that we do something about security, because people just enter schools, they steal tables and chairs, particularly tables. Some are people in inverters, they have stolen equipment in the laboratories and so on. It's actually a bigger threat. Even in some schools that are fenced, they experience some of these things. But we continue to work with security agency, Amoteco, schools, safe schools in the night. Some are not during broad daylight. So when we see anybody going around and you see there's that ordinary, they should not be seen with them, without allowing them, and then hand them over to the security agencies. So, and we're also working on ensuring that we have security in schools that have none. Ordinarily, the government has been approved, but we are in the process of how to ensure that we have all these security men posted to schools for security. This is actually working. We'll continue to see how we improve on that. Then for schools that would have fence, we have fencing some schools now. Sugeb has just captured some other schools in the action plan for this year. Once that action plan is approved, we will also fence the fencing of other schools. So I assure parents and stakeholders that the efforts are being made to ensure better security in school. And the second question is on what this Mr.
She talked about sporting activities.
Yes, sporting activities are going on in schools. I wouldn't know where the caller actually observed that there are no sporting activities. There's no way you would have sporting activities in school. What happened was that 2020 during COVID, during the lockdown, it was cancelled because of to ensure that there will be gathering happening on the gathering of but we have it now in schools, and they apply for the pre-diaper sports. They apply, then put it in the appropriate school calendar.
Okay, sir. So on the final note, let's quickly pick this. Hello, good morning, sir. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Quickly, let's have your question, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I'm not getting the question.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, let's try to upgrade themselves. That was supposed to be that is just focus on the what are the things that the colleges are there now? I think they're not to stand that. And then somebody has asked about different colleges. But I think that they can share that. You also see them properly
Okay.
to your incredible program.
All right. All right, sir. Honorable Commissioner, his question was that what effort have you been able to put in place in upgrading teachers' knowledge, like you extending the training to colleges? On a final note, sir.
Yeah, we mentioned that. I said somebody asked that question earlier. I said we involved lecturers from the universities, from colleges of education in the training that we did, and don't forget that these professors and the lecturers in these institutions, because they received the training, and 50 of them were brought in. They received this training, they are able to inject it into their own training program. And apart from that, because of that training, we have actually told them to also look at the curriculum institutions so that they see where changes should also be made in the curriculum so that it's just not a matter of those who look for the training, it's a matter of injecting in the curriculum so that it can also be permanent so that we don't have to be expending money again to train those ones when they become permanent teachers in schools. So we were working in concert with the training institutions on that.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner for Science and Technology on the stage, Professor Abayomi Aribabu. We thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for shedding
All right,
light.
no doubt Ogun State is marching forward. It's good to know that even technology is being integrated into the school system.
Yes.
And whether you go to a public school or a private school, because it doesn't really matter, you're still going to get the best of education.
Yes.
You can imagine what children from public schools are doing with what the Honorable Commissioner said
Yes.
in external
They're
examinations.
really making waves.
We appreciate God for that. Okay, so today is a special day for many people. October the 4th, way back in 1939, one of Nigeria's finest was born. One of Ogun State finest, as a matter of fact. Tunji Oyelanu. Baba is 85 today. Congratulations to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you,
To
Baba.
everyone having birthdays today, happy birthday to you all. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who made today's production possible. From the newsroom, Toyi Oyelomade and Musari. Daniel Okichuko and Miriam Ogoniyi have been working in the ICT department. Yemi Seruko, the president of Buttons, they produced. Thank you very sincerely for listening and for being part of today's production. I'm Debo Adeyinka. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Stay tuned for editorial review.